Okay. All right. Now, now we got audio. Oh, should have tested that first, I guess. Trying to get Rumble to work. Waiting for encoder server to claim placeholder video. Okay, well, I guess Rumble is... Rumble's weird. Cannot... Rumble looks like it's broken. Alright, let's get started. Alright, we've got our Wii HDMI kit thing. Yeah, AVE HDMI. So we're going to be installing in the Wii probably tomorrow. Today we're going to work. We've got this brand new, like new. No, it's actually not in terrible condition. It's a Wii U. Not terrible condition means we've got a memory error. So of course we need to make it work again. I just got these NandAids in from Violator. So we're gonna take this bad boy apart. I did test the rest, what I could test with this system. It does turn on as soon as you go to register on me. It does not work. It does not, like, it errors out. So we just gotta get in. We gotta hack it. We're gonna uninstall ISFX hacks too once the NAND's been fixed. So that's gonna be a new step for me today. Never actually gone as far as... Well, that went into the ether somewhere. I have some extras. Not that they're that vital. We are going to try and keep them. Because I'm going to sell this console on eBay or my website. Probably. Ooh.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, is ISFS hacks already installed?
No, it is not. Shall we do that first? usually tear it down first. But usually is only twice now, so. And how are you doing? Yeah, we can real quick install. See, we've got our Raspberry Pi. Need to grab a micro SD card or an SD card. We don't really need a full NAND backup because it's already going to be, I'm resetting it all the way. And that feels good. So, nah, nothing's been done with this. I just tested to see if we even had a memory error. What the memory error was. And it's the one we always expect it to be. It's the one we want, I guess. I also bought this gamepad. The gamepad cost more than the console. This was 25 and this was like 32 or something. They said the front screen bezel was broken, but it's not. The whole thing works perfectly. Nothing. Even the screen is even like pretty good condition. There's a couple of scuffs, but I can probably get those out. It just needs a new battery, if anything, and a new sticker. But that's not really that important. It's in pretty good condition. I bought a replacement shell thinking the shell was broken when I bought it. Nope. Alright, well, let's prep the SD card. I think this one's like half ready. Yeah, this is Taco's NAND on it, but I already have this backed up, and this is the NAND for the broken console anyway. So we only need recovery menu. Alright, we need iOS image, super block, and the SHA. We need to make an Wii U iOS plugins folder. Oh, come on. How did that not copy and paste? I swear. Alright. Waffle core. I should just have all of these, like, in a folder already by now. I'll just do that after the stream today. And we need the patch. But we're using UDPIH, so we don't. We need this, which is what I just got, right? Yep. And we need firmware image and boot 1. Okay, let's throw everything on the...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says if you are feeling adventurous, you could also try to use DNS Presso instead of UDPIH on this console.
What's DNS Presso? I've never heard of this. It's a new one? Instead of recovery menu? Or is it... Instead of... Is it not the Raspberry Pi? What is it? Now I'm curious. I'm just curious. Maybe on the next one, huh? Adventurous. I don't know. Tried and true. So tried and true is not a bad thing, is it? is adventurous risky? Does it come with any risks? Mo? Okay. Let's just open the downloads in a new window. Oh, look at all this. Okay, I'll have to rename these.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says it's not risky, just never tried for this use case before.
Core patch and these two. Is it somehow what's the difference? Where do I look into it? I'd like to look into it. Where is, can you link me like a thing? Is there any benefits? Okay, that should be everything, right? I may just double check. I didn't miss anything here. So, in the iOS plugins, we put the core, and we put the patch in the iOS plugins. Okay.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says I write it on Discord, it's too much for the chat.
Oh, there's no like link or something? Oh, yeah, there is a link. Oh, I don't think I can get in though. I can't get into the system. So, because the system doesn't during the setup process when you choose the Me, the system crashes. Then I get the error when I'm trying to before I get into the system. So it's not like like on a game launch or something. Unfortunately, I can't even get into the dashboard. So we can't, but that's cool. Yeah, once it asks you to choose a Me for the account, it starts to load the Me selector, and then a memory error happens. Okay, iOS check, Superblock check, Superblock image check. Those two I know, and then Minute firmware. Yes, boot 1, and recovery menu. We got them all. Yeah, okay, well, I'll look into that. If I ever get a console that's not broken.
I never wanted to believe that my dad was stealing from his job as a road worker. But when I got home, all the signs were there.
That's a good one. Alright. Let's eject you. Plug that in.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says if you boot it, I can tell you how to get to the Wi-Fi settings.
Oh, really? Well, let's look at it. Let's. That would be a good little lesson. So the system apparently is turning on. Okay, so I'll go back here and put that there. So, is there anything I need? Do you want to tell me like where's the first step? I guess it's just getting to the Wi-Fi settings. So this is the problem. It's asking me to register me. This is where it breaks.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says until it asks you if you have a NNID.
So it breaks. Okay, so I'll go back to that screen. We can go back to that screen. Just say yes. And then it'll ask you for the Wi-Fi maybe. Okay.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says noon you need to tell it you have a NNID.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna give me a seizure. Look at the mister. You guys see this? Oh, it stopped. Well, that's good. It was freaking out. Still not super happy about whatever resolution that is. It's alright, it won't last long. Okay. So, yes. Yes. Use your Nintendo Network ID to add a user? Or do I say no on this?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says if it then can't connect to your Wi-Fi, it will bring you back to the Wi-Fi settings.
Oh, okay. Do you already have a Nintendo Network ID? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I haven't done anything with this, so it shouldn't connect to Wi-Fi unless it finds an open one somehow. Like a neighbor's. Okay. Unable to find Wi-Fi. View. I see. Okay, and then you would just use this to get in. Is there any benefit to doing it this way? I think I'm going to stop the Rumble stream. Because it is not... It just says waiting for encoder. Maybe we'll start it over and see if it fixes.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, but you first need to enter a wrong Wi-Fi password.
Alright, well we're not going to actually do it, but I see the process here. It's a good educational moment for me. I'm going to try...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the advantage is if you don't have a Pico.
I got you, but I do have a Pico. I'd almost rather... You know, short and sweet, do it this way. See if we can hear the booting. Well, I might be a little slow on that. Nope, we're good. Recovery menu is power to go in, right? So let's dump. There's no way to
YouTube
just.
Jan Hoffmeyer says, but your viewers may not have a Pico.
Right. That's true. That's fine. I'm not doing this for my viewers. I only stream because it helps create an accountability for what I'm producing to sell on my website. So when people buy a modded console or a repaired console or a fixed console, or they want to hire me to recap their system or fix broken traces or something, they can like see the work that I'm doing as a recording more than anything. The live streaming just makes more sense to do it live than to like record it and edit it and all that stuff. I'm not too worried about viewers for any other purpose, at least at this stage. There's no way to dump just the SLC, is there? I don't want to dump the MLC. Can I stop it once we get the SLC? Let's do OTP and CPROM. So we need. Do I need to dump the SLC and the MLC since this NAND is so bad and we're just going with? Wouldn't it be better to dump the SLC and the MLC after?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no, just dump it in minute.
Dump just the SLC in minute? Okay. Alright, so that means I gotta...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says minute is better for dumping SLC anyway.
Okay. Alright, cool. So I got the OTP though, so that's good. It's a good start. Alright, so... we just have to select boot 1, right? Is that it? Load boot 1 payload and proceed. Is that it? That's all I do? Okay. I just forget this because it's so short. Load. Okay, I got the minute menu up there.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says so, just load boot 1.
Ugh, these arcade cores. You know what? They're gonna give me a seizure. I can see this coming out of the corner of my eye. See this? I'm gonna put it on just like SNK cores or something for today. Not that we can even see it on stream, but it's there for fun. Okay, we'll just do that. I don't know what that was, but it should ignore the arcade cores at least. Alright, let's pull up this. Alright, now we need... Okay, so it's power to move. Backup and restore, correct? Yeah, backup and restore. No, I need to message her. We got a new cat. And it's been... She's hiding, and my other cat was just all night. The first night she was here, which was not last night, but the night before, he was just howling all night. It was actually ridiculous. Alright, hold on. Let me, I'm doing too many things here at once. I want to dump... So we can just dump CPROM and OTP. Oh, no, we already did that. We just need to dump SLC raw. That's what we need. SLC raw. Is that it? I don't need to dump anything else? I know we need to dump this. This is going to take a minute anyway. So let's see if we can get this working. I'm going to message her. I'll message her tomorrow at the latest because I have a website client I got to do, and that's actually a priority. And that's going to take up a bunch of my evening. So yeah, I'll get it ordered. Once she ships it, it'll be fast. I was also kind of waiting for a payment to come in.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, just SLC is enough.
Cool, cool. Yeah, the see, I'm tired from the gym, so anyway, we'll get the DRAM sent over. It'll happen in the next couple of weeks. She's got to set, put the board and package it up and send it. I was waiting for some money to come in, so I would some money in my PayPal account, but two of my clients haven't. They're a little behind, so I may have to just transfer money over or pull it from my bank account. We'll see. Timing, but yeah, my cat was just sitting outside the door of the room that the new cat is in and going crazy, just crying all night. It was not fun. I didn't sleep very well that night. And I had to put vacuums and stuff. I put two vacuums in front of the door and aluminum foil. I tried to lock him in the room downstairs with a cat box and some water, just so I could get one good sleep cycle in and go to get some sleep, because at like 3:50 in the morning he's just howling, and I hadn't slept very much up to that point. Anyway, so I locked him in the room. He jumped up, pulled the handle, and got himself out within 15 minutes. He was back upstairs crying, and I was like, oh my god. So I had to figure out something else. I put vacuums in front, and that spooked him. He doesn't like the vacuums. Let's see. Where's my websites folder? There it is. We'll just do this. Yeah. Oh, it looks like we're done. Yay. So, finally, last night I actually got some good sleep in.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, wow, a perfect MLC, no pad pages. YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says SLC.
Yeah, it's just the MLC that's bad, apparently. But we're going to fix it. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. I need to order an SD card. I don't have the right SD card. I have SD cards, but not the right
For Valentine's Day, I decided to get my wife some beads for an abacus. It's the little things that count.
Ah, stupid. I'm stupid. Let me do that right now. Let me order an SD card. Damn it. I forgot we need We need the right kind of SD card. I need a 64 gig. I'll just reorder one from the last. Ah, I can't believe that. What are they called? The Max Endurance? That's 32. I need a 64. There we go. Dang it. So tomorrow. Ah. I totally forgot the SD card. My bad. I mean, I have other SD cards, but then we just have to do it again. I guess I could do it with a non-max endurance and just get the console like tested and working with the new NAND, and then redo the install on the new SD card when it comes in. Is it even worth going to all that trouble? Maybe I should just...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says for now you can rebuild on the eMMC to see if the REST works and then just reinstall once the SD arrives.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what we'll do. Because that'll be easy. That'll make things easier. Dang it, I forgot. That's so sad. Alright, so we're good here. What should we... So we've dumped... We've got Minute. Is Minute actually installed? Or it's not, right? Is it installed? No. We're not actually installed. Are we? No, we're not. I need to choose boot. Right? Boot iOS. How come I don't see it? Where am I blind? Oh, we're in backup and restore. That's why. Derp. We need to go down to...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, the boot iOS.
Yeah, boot iOS. Continue. Continue. Install. Yes. Continue. Okay. Now, I can take the Raspberry Pi out. And when we boot this time, it should go straight into Minute. Yeah, okay. We'll at least get the NandAid installed. There we go. Alright, now we can do the NandAid itself. We've got Minute installed. I'm going to have to learn how to uninstall. I guess I just boot the iOS again and uninstall it when we're done. I hope so. Alright. Let me back up the files too from the SD card onto my hard drive. Let's backup folder. So we need the SLC raw, Wii U backups. So this is we'll call this Wii U number one. I'll just put the date 02/28/24. We'll put that here, and I'll actually include these. I'll make sure to include these on the SD card that comes with the console, so that people have. Or actually, you know what? I'll provide, instead of providing an SD card, since we're going to uninstall ISFX hacks anyway. You know what I'll do is I'll just provide a Google Drive link on my website. When somebody buys the console, I'll send them the files so that they can keep this, because these are small enough that I should be able to to do that. And I'll tell them they have like 30 days to download it. And actually, oh, I need the OTP and CPROM. And let's go into my Wii U folder and we'll call this ISFS hacks files. And I'll literally just bring this over here and then delete the OTP CPROM and SLC raw. Then I can just drag these over for what we need in the future. I don't have to download them every time. Okay. Yep, I just need to install at this point so we can take the console apart. Oh, my hips. I'm such an old man. Oh wait, I got these out already. Alright, let's get all these little black squares off. Get inside here. Just for fun. Might as well. Alright, let's get these going. Let me get my mat. I'm excited. I want to fix all the Wii U consoles and get these into people's hands, man. So people can have the console they want. Working. Functional. Just gotta find the game pads and not super... I mean, I can repair those too. Usually it's a screen or a battery issue. Come on. Oh yeah, did the Rumble stream work? I'm so... Come on. Let me check that real quick. I don't understand how to make Rumble work. Every time I start to stream, it just says it's processing the video. Okay, I think what happened is they have the wrong information. For the stream key. Still just says waiting for stream though. Yeah, everything's right. Rumble, you need to work on your stuff here, man. I got... Try it one more time. And then I'm giving up on this. Oh, it shows me as live. Okay. And it still says waiting for encoder server to claim placeholder video. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Done. Let's get inside. Rumble, I guess, is garbage. I will give it 1 minute and then I'm gonna cancel that crap. Something about the placeholder video must be screwing it up. I don't know, because that's the error I'm getting. But maybe we'll just let it sit actually, because the placeholder video is not supposed to last that long. I don't know why it even needs one. Okay, well, we got all the screws out. Ooh, there's some white substance in here. We'll have to give this a thorough cleaning. It's not too dusty looking, so that's good.
What do you call a guy lying on your doorstep? Matt.
Yeah, that's why I hate that name. That's why I don't like that name. Also, it sounds like something a sheep says. Matt. Okay, front panel's off. Time to dig into these. I wish you didn't have to take maybe I can get these screws out without. No, there's no way. I gotta take this off. Yeah, you gotta take the CD drive off the mount, like the little brackets that hold them up, because you can't get to the screws underneath, unfortunately. So you gotta take every screw out. Thanks, Nintendo. Companies and their repairability. Almost never. There we go. Disk drive's out. Now I gotta take out the 1 million screws. Sever the NAND. Install the NandAid. Let's get a nice 32 gig install going. Then we'll upgrade to 64 when that card comes in. Thoroughly test the console with some games, then pop it on my website for sale. Let's take this off first. I used to hate going into the Wii and the Wii U, but I don't hate it anymore. I don't think it's as bad. It's that bad. And I'm trying not to hate disassembling and reassembling consoles, because I have to do it. It's a part of the process. I got no choice. So let's enjoy it as much as we can and not be haters. Okay. Should be able to slide this off. Yeah, did somebody spill something on here? We're lucky there's no water damage. There's like a white, it's like a white, I don't know if you can see that, but there's, yeah, just a little white substance.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says after you remove ISFS hacks, you have to check if game updates still work.
Really? Why? What's the deal with that? I mean, can you just install the updates anyway through the downloader? Question mark? No, I guess people aren't going to do that, though. They may just run retail games. So, yeah, okay. I mean, I'll check. I'm just wondering what's
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says because permissions on one folder are wrong sometimes after the rebuild.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. So we just have to set folder permissions afterwards on the MLC. Can I just check the folder permissions anyway, like with the FTP? Or are you saying don't soft mod? Because I was going to soft mod the console anyway. I have 3 viewers, but I still am getting an error on Rumble. What the hell's going on? Are you guys? Can you guys actually? Rumble, please stop.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says FTP doesn't support the permissions. You would just delete and recreate the folder.
Okay, but I would still have to soft mod it in order to be able to do that. Is there... I'm going to soft mod them anyway. I'm going to sell them soft modded. That's going to be part of the process here, so it won't matter anyway. So we can fix that. Hello, Mr. Nand. I'm sorry you were broken. We're gonna fix you right up. Technically, not really you, but look how Violator packaged this. Cute. All right. Oh, let's get this here. All right. Let's get soldering situation ready. Which tip do I want? Not this tip.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says you can just run Aroma from the browser exploit, so you don't have to install a mod to the console.
Well, I want to. That's the problem, is I want to. Is that tip gonna be too big? I forget which. I think this was the tip. Yeah, because it's got a nice little angle on it. I do want to. I want to soft mod it for people. I'm gonna sell the consoles soft modded. If somebody wants a non-soft modded console, then I can do that for them. But I think at this point, it's better to sell. I mean,
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says also after rebuilding you have to recreate the update folder with UFDing, or else future system updates won't work.
We don't want any future system updates anyway, right? If we're gonna soft mod it, they're gonna be blocked anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell the consoles. There's a higher demand, generally speaking, for consoles that are soft modded on eBay. They sell better. So I think most people are looking if they're gonna buy one. And then I'll just, if somebody actually wants a non-soft modded console that repaired, they can just send me one and I'll just repair it. And we'll go through the trouble then. But for like with this, the goal is to just kind of fix it up, sell it, resell it. Supply and demand kind of thing. I'm gonna do what's selling better. What are people buying?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, if you soft mod you block them usually.
Yeah.
But in case you would sell it as stock, it should have the updates working.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind. That's actually really good to know. Yeah, I don't plan on selling this as stock, so. But when we run into that situation, I'll definitely keep that in mind. He said he put tape on this, but I'm not seeing tape. I'll do it myself.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, but for the soft mod you also have to sell it with a SD in the front slot.
Oh, true. That's true. Good point. Oh, I see the tape. Very good point. So I will have to invest. Well, I have a bunch of SD cards. So we can do that. That's not a problem. Let's just get more. Look at, there is water damage on this board or something. Look at this. There's like a white substance on this board. But it's not like corrosive. What the heck? See if it comes off. What was spilled on here? Like there's an X written on it too. Yeah, in the factory they like to write on these. That is true. Well, it cleaned up really well. So it's almost like it's paint or something. Somebody spilled like whiteout. It seems like it's whiteout. I think somebody spilled whiteout on this. I think that's the only place I see any. This has Micron memory too. I could have used this as a donor, but it's not worth doing that when we have a... we can make this work again. Alright. And the cap's already gone. Alright, microscope. Microscope. Okay. I guess we have... let's sever the trace first. What is the best way, in your opinion, for severing this trace? Just an X-Acto knife? It's a razor blade? It feels like it's so gentle that you could basically just use tweezers. There's the trace.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, X-Acto knife and cut towards the GND and not the other signals.
Right. Cut out this way. Yeah, that's too thick. We gotta use our jerry rig everything. It doesn't take much pressure to cut it, so I usually just give it a few strokes, take a look at it. Whoop, see, that's what we're going to try to avoid. Either way, I can mask that. We don't want to cut other traces. This ground anyway, but...
My new thesaurus is terrible. In fact, it's so bad, I'd say it's terrible.
Let's see if that's there. Well, looks like we've cut it. It's hard to tell once it's cut because it creates like a mess in there. But I think it's not making continuity between the 2 points, which is all we really need. Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of mask on it. Oh. My razor blade is Wasn't staying in very well. Alright. Let's get the UV resin curable solder mask or whatever it's called.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no. Don't put mask there or the NandAid might not lay flush.
No. It's just going to be barely right here. I'm going to put the smallest amount. It'll be super thin. And I'll test it. And I'll trim it away if there's a problem. It's going to be super thin. The tiniest amount. Like even that's too much. But it's a tiny little trace. Like that. See, barely any. Barely any. Yeah, I know that we need to make good contact. I don't. It can scrape off, so I'm not like that bothered. But I like to do these little extra steps. It's good practice, and it's also good for people, peace of mind. Go to the efforts for people. If it was my console, I would do it. Yeah, I'm not gonna put a big blob of a mask. Most people would just put a blob of mask down. I'm gonna do really thin, absolutely as little as possible. To give it a little bit of a layer. It should be fine because the solder points are pretty thick. How long have we been? Where's my water? I can't believe nobody else is really doing this. Like, trying to fix these. You guys have you put so much work into creating these fixes, and nobody's picked up the slack here and like trying to do this. Yeah, let's make sure this sits flush. Yeah, absolutely. Still good. Still very good. I hate how far away this point is. So I think what I want to do is pre-solder a wire, and this new magnet wire is much thicker, so that should go better. Let's hope. Alright, no more breathing lead. That's my goal, my late New Year's resolution. We're not breathing any lead. No more lead breath. Should be okay with that. Because it's just the tip, it's hard. I'm going to come in from an angle here. Try to get a bit more heat on there. Let me see if I can tin it with a tiny bit of solder. Let's more flux maybe. It's that leaded solder on there. Let's use the other flux. Just wish this one pad was closer. That would be ideal.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the solder from the factory is not leased, so it needs higher temps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not leaded. I know what you're saying. Oh, the pad comes off so easily. Oh my god. 2. It's okay, I can solder a wire to the trace if I have to. But it's on there right now. I've had to scrape the trace and solder a wire on before. Let's get a Chemtech wipe and do this real careful. Let me get my paintbrush. Actually, don't know where it went. Oh, that's too bad. We'll just use Q-tips. Yeah, look at the traces like ripping off.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the magnet wire was probably too thick for that job.
We don't really even need this wire, do we? Do we actually need this wire? Well, it ripped off anyway. Do we need this one? I don't think we need it unless we're going to actually read from the NAND, right? We just need the other pad. This thing always rips off so easily. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it if I have to do it again.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no, it works without it.
Yeah, it works without it. And the NAND's bad anyway. So, let's just forget it. Not like restoring the NAND is going to help in any way. I mean, if I have to, for some reason, I could scrape away at the trace and put a wire on. That's what I had to do on Taco's console. His NAND might not even be bad, so I'm going to put the RAM on and see if it boots with the original NAND.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says it's just nicer to ground it, so the input on the eMMC isn't floating.
Oh, Well, ground's right there, so can't I just expose the trace and then just solder it to ground? I mean, actually, the trace is far enough up.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says you can expose the trace and then just solder that to the band-aid.
That's what I was thinking, because there's enough now. Now there's enough there for me to solder it on. That'll work better. I should just do that. That's what I'm gonna do from now on. I'm just gonna scrape away at the trace and leave the pad there instead of using a wire. That's okay. Cool. That works. I like that. It's a good plan. It's a good solve for this weird situation. Yeah, I just didn't like how far away it is from the pad, but this solves that issue entirely. Alright, good. Okay. Alright. So let's line this up real good. That should be fine. This hole is so big. This hole is so big. Those all look pretty good. I've never designed a PCB, but whew, this thing's hot. Well, that's making a ground connection. I don't know if I should fill this whole thing with solder or not, because it might make... raise the SD card up a little too much. Oop. There's a tiny bit of a bump.
What do you call a dad that has fallen through the ice?
Yeah,
A popsicle.
Okay, the SD card sits flush. Perfect.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says make sure it is flush and no bump.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on it. We're same wavelength, sir. Same exact thoughts. You read my mind, or I read yours, or something. I'll add this little ground anchor, because why not? Okay. Now, let's clean the flux up. I gotta find my paintbrush. I have a paintbrush for this. Yeah, no bump. Is there something hissing? You guys hear that? Yeah. Oh, it's making a hissing noise. If that gets annoying, let me know. I'll try to discover what it is, but we're almost there. With this bad boy. Let's put these on, then I'll do the SD card. I think there's enough of that trace left so we could check continuity. I've seen people say that they take the resistors off because it makes it easier to solder. I don't know about that. Well, that should be on. Alright, now we can do the actual SD card slot. Nice and flat. Am I gonna need some flux? Holy crap. I didn't want to put that much flux underneath. Actually, let's just use the other flux. I don't want to put this much flux underneath the port. Next time he sends me these, I can tell him he doesn't need to send the capacitors or the actual port. Okay, what? Take some solder, please. There we go. It's like the solder doesn't want to go on the pads. Look, it's like it won't take to the pad. Maybe we aren't flush? Or do I need more heat? 375 not enough? Okay, that now it took. Look, it doesn't stick to the pad.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says these pads are connected to the end plane, so they sink some heat.
Yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, they sink a lot of heat. Oh my god. Might need a bigger tip. Or I'm just going to boost to 425. Okay, it's on. How are we looking on the legs here? Not too bad. This one looks like it needs more. I think 425 is better. Well, that's an ugly joint, but this is ground. We don't want it to be fragile though. It's a little better. Alright. Let's do our backside. Okay, those are going on nice. Come on, fume extractor, stop me from breathing lead, please. Oh, always get it on there.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says it's not only the lead. The rosin in the flux can cause all kinds of health issues.
Oh, I know. I've already got my fair share of health issues. I don't need more. Don't need more. It's a 10 UF cap. Oh. This is the other one came out. It's a good thing I have more. I don't know where it is. Can you guys... Can we see it? There's the one I put down. Stray cap. Stray cap. Oh. I'll find it. There it is. It's wedged right there. Okay. Let's solder this tiny little cap on. We need some more solder here. Is that the mask just coming off? I haven't even pushed very hard on here. At least it's ground. Guess this mask wants to come off with the high heat. Come on, give me a nice joint. There we go. I'm not going to get too greedy here. Let's check continuity. Which health issues concern you the most with the flux? Curious. Good. 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 I don't know about that one. Those might need a lot more. A lot more love.
Which flower is most fierce? Dandelion.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says I forgot what the exact issues were, I just know I don't want them.
Yeah. I hear that. Can we see if the... I guess I could just test for a diode reading. That'll give us whether or not it's actually connected, right? So I don't think I can get down to the trace anymore. Let's do a diode mode. Red probe on ground. No. A 0.4 voltage drop there. We got 0 here. I'm not certain that this one. Looks like the pad came off as well on that one. Does this one need to be connected? How important is this one? I may have to take it off and actually scrape at the trace. It looks like that pad came off too.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, the right side is very important.
That's what I thought. I'm getting 0 voltage drop. I don't think it's connected. Oh man, is there a wire I can run, or is the via is just like right there, huh? It's right underneath. Why did the trace have to burn off? I didn't even put it on that hard.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says better get it from the via on the bottom of the board and go with a magnet wire through a bigger via.
Yeah.
YouTube Resem says can't you just bypass that joint with solder or a wire? What resistance are these resistors?
There's no resistor on this line. It's just the pad that I was trying to solder to is gone. I think it just came off. They're super
YouTube
weak.
Resem says are okay.
Hi Reese. You just want to see a voltage drop when it's connected. I could test the voltage on...
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says first try adding a little more solder and heat.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Still 0. Whoop. Dang it. See if we can get in there. Maybe I'll remove the solder, see if we can see.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says measure against the via on the bottom of the board.
Then I have to pull the heatsink off. Let's only do that if we have to. I have the other console open. I could measure it on the console that's already apart. The one with defuse.
YouTube Reese M says what's going on with that blob of solder at the top? Looks like something is shorted to ground there.
That's supposed to be shorted. Okay, before I go any further, let's I'll test it on the
YouTube Reasem says there's a signal trace going into that blob top.
Yeah, I got 4.3 voltage drop on the via, so we have to get there.
YouTube Reasem says and then the solder blob is shorting IT to ground.
Yes, it's supposed to be shorted to ground. That is supposed to be shorted. So that's correct. It looks like the pad's still
YouTube
there.
Reese M says okay, sorry.
Well, you're good. Still 0.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says does the other console have a SD in the slot? If so, remove the SD buffer measuring.
No. There's nothing on it. It's just the original NAND. It's just the board itself. The board has no SD card slot or anything on it. See if I can get a
YouTube
measurement.
Reese M says that Blob also has a trace going to this bit that you're trying to reconnect.
The blob has a trace going to this bit that you're trying to connect.
YouTube Reese M says so that will also be shorted to ground.
No. This is not connected to this. See? No connection.
YouTube Reese M says oh.
These two are not touching. This trace goes down this way. And this is ground, right here.
YouTube Reese M says to the left side of it I meant.
So this is connected to here because we want this to go to ground. So this is supposed to go to ground. So, and it's not anymore because I wicked the solder away. Well, it might be. I'm surprised. It looks like... It looks like the traces, there's enough of the trace there. It's just not making a strong connection. Maybe it's just the board's floating up a little bit too much. And I can't get the heat down in there. But I should be able to get a reading off of the pad. Come on, focus.
YouTube Reese M says it's hard to tell what's going on with all the flux and stuff.
Uh-huh. It is. I am also having the troubles. Actually, even with this giant mess in the board, this is touching ground somehow. Where? So you're not completely
YouTube
wrong.
Jan Hoffmeyer says maybe it is connected. Just put a SD in and test if Minute sees
This
it.
is ground though. This is touching ground. I'm getting continuity between ground. Actually, I'm getting continuity.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says oh if it touches and then don't try.
I'm getting continuity with ground on the SD
YouTube
card.
Reese M says the trace is there. I think it's just lifted.
YouTube Jan
What the
Hoffmeyer
hell?
says chat is so much delayed.
I know. Twitch is so much faster.
YouTube Reese M says it looks like there's supposed to be a resistor there like the ones below.
Yeah, there's not. This is the one that doesn't have a resistor. I think I have to wick away all of the... I might have to take it off. We may have to use low melt solder and take the whole thing off. And run wires.
YouTube Reese M says it'd clean it all with alcohol and have a better look.
Did I burn off the via here? Did this board's via just come right off? Wouldn't be the first time. It's a good thing I have more NandAids. May just have to use a new NandAid. Is there even a via on there anymore? It doesn't look like it, does it? These little castellated edges do not hold up very well. But it was touching ground, so we have to get the solder off. Either way. Okay. Let me see if I can get down there real quick.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says if you burn off the wire then use less heat.
Yeah. 375 is probably a little too much. I'll go to 340. Well, we just kept dumping heat into it. I think it just came off with the wick.
YouTube Race M says I don't understand why there would be a signal-looking trace going into that big blob of solder at the top, to the right of it, if it's supposed to be ground.
Yes.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says also make sure it isn't shorted on the slot.
Okay, so when I test right now, I'm getting both four. Okay, when I get down to the pad, which you can't see, I can see enough of the trace there. 4.5 voltage drop. So there is the trace there. So which can we rescue this NAND? Is this which via does this go to? Does it go to any one of these? Does it go to, it doesn't go to clock, it doesn't go to command. Which leg does this connect to on the micro SD card? Because I could just run a wire from here. I could burn more of the board away.
YouTube Resem says that trace labeled clock is going to ground.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no, it doesn't go to the big pads.
Does it go to a leg? Yes. Clock, which goes up here to this pad, is supposed to be grounded because it causes the NAND to not float. That is on purpose. We're trying to ground.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, but I have to look up which.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could just process of elimination it with the, that's, because, you know. That's sense. It's probably this one. Nope. Nope. That's
Where
ground.
does astronauts hang out after work? At the space bar.
YouTube NUSSPLI says IIRCCLK ends between the 3.3 and the GND pad on the slot.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says IT showed between the 3v3 and the end left.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no, not that one.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says one in the middle.
It's this one. That's ground on that's being grounded for some reason. Something is bridging that to ground. Oh, maybe not. What the heck? I know that's ground. Okay, it's not. I must be touching the cap. No. Why is that touching ground? Are you grounded? That was not supposed to be ground, but I got a ground signal. Maybe the tape on the bottom of the card slot came off.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says I sent the pin out in Discord.
Thank you. So that's why we're seeing ground. So it probably was connected before I burnt it off.
YouTube NUSSPLI says maybe the CLK cut reconnected.
Maybe the clock cut got reconnected? You mean this? What does that have to do with this? So
YouTube
this
Jan
is pin
Hoffmeyer
1.
says even if the tape is missing, it shouldn't short if the GND wire was flush.
1, 2. So this is pin. Actual pin.
YouTube NUSSPLI says the cut on the Wii U mainboard between the two pads. Maybe solder flowed into and reconnected.
Cut the Wii U mainboard between the two pads. No, there's no solder in between, dude. I can see I can see the layers on the board. There's no via here anymore. The via is actually gone. I burned it off. There's no via at all. And this trace is not connected to here. This solder is, I removed the solder. So this and this are definitely not connected, because if this was connected to that, that's still not connected to that. That's not the problem. This.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says just to be sure remove the solder from the DSB jumper.
Okay.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, oh okay.
Okay. No more jumper. And I'm still getting ground. I'm still getting continuity between this pin and ground. Even this. Everything's grounded. Everything's shorted. I think it's the pins underneath the slot, the micro SD card slot.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says reflow the leg. Maybe it has some solder under the slot shorting.
Okay. My assumption is that the tape is not insulating enough and it melted or something when I How come this is so dark now? Oh, you know what? My camera must have, the microscope camera must have, the auto exposure turned back on. Yeah. I gotta turn the auto exposure off so that it doesn't try, it doesn't do that. I think the tape melted and it's making contact with the ground pin.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says even without the tape there shouldn't be a short.
No, this is version 3, and he said that there's a problem with the legs touching the ground pad because it's too big. So he had to send them with tape. I mean, you can see it. It's too big. They're too big. The ground holes just makes contact with the pins under the SD card slot. Yeah, it's still grounded. And then I'm gonna put low melt solder on, and I'm gonna pull the card slot off.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says I know, but they would only touch if the solder on the via wasn't flush.
I don't know about that. I think the more flush it is, the more likely it would touch, because if it was raised up, these pins wouldn't even have a chance to make contact with ground. But either way, we're shorted. I don't see how they could be shorted from this side.
YouTube NUSSPLI says they shouldn't touch without an SD card inserted even if the tape is gone.
Oh, really?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the pins don't stick out below the slot.
Oh, until the SD card is inserted. I see what you're saying. So why are we grounded? What's grounding it? What's causing the ground signal to happen?
YouTube RN says I have one ready to install on my bench, but I'm confused as to what I'm supposed to put on the SD card. This mod is confusing to me after installation.
You have to use Minute. So if you stick around and we do get this working. Yeah, I don't know why. I could try taking solder off. And, there's a post on the forum on how to do it. The only thing could be the ground pad next to it, right? This ground pad. But there was no solder on these, on the pins or on the board, so I don't know how solder could have flowed over like that. Cut the clock trace on the NandAid. How is that an option? Well, no longer ground. So there must have been some solder connecting this pin to this pin. But this one is also still showing ground. Actually, if I push the SD card slot down against the board, it becomes ground. It is the tape. I'm gonna put an SD card in and it'll probably become ground. I think the tape underneath is the problem, guys. I'm just gonna use like solder mask or something. Yeah. No, that's not ground. That's not ground. That's not ground. Okay, with the SD card slot in, actually, things are not grounding. Maybe it's okay. Just don't push on it. Okay. We're good so far. Must have been touching. Okay, I think we're good.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says solder mask or Captain tape so it survives the heat.
I'm gonna put an extra layer of Kapton tape on the next one I do. That's for sure. Just to be sure, just to be absolutely certain. Because I think it's just, it doesn't look like Kapton tape that he put on the bottom of this. It's just like a, or not this, the on the SD cards. It just looks like a piece of cellophane tape. So it might have. Either way, I think we're good now. We just need to get this. I need to get a wire going to the trace here because I burnt off the thing. Maybe I should just actually remove this NandAid from the board and start over anyway. I could run a. Could I run a wire? It would be easier to run the wire if I remove it because then I could kind of run it around and put some. Well, let's see. Maybe I don't need to remove it. Let's not go that far yet. How small? I wonder if this magnet wire is too small, too thick. No, it should be okay. I just need to get just barely the tip exposed. And then I can kind of run over the capacitor with the enameled section. Yeah, that should be enough. Let's see, is that too much? I'm gonna switch to a much smaller tip for this, because that will actually help.
What do vegetarian zombies eat? Grunions.
Alright, let me add some more solder to this and even dip it in flux to give ourselves the best shot getting this on here right away. Oh, almost perfect. Now we've got the pain in the ass section. I'm going to sort of wrap this with this. Come around here. Let's see. Okay, I just gotta get the enamel off. This ground plane should do the trick. Try not to burn this connector at the same time. Oh, it's so hard to do it without on this surface. Okay, I'm gonna do my, let's do my trick. Let's do the trick. I gotta use the wrench trick. How is it not enough heat to get the enamel off? Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay, I think we're okay there. Let's just cut this.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says MLC2SD has all these annoyances fixed. At least I hope so.
Well, it's kind of my fault that the trace burned off. I'm not really sure what temperature I should be using for all this. Alright, let's see if we can just solder this wiring down in there. But yeah. Okay, we just need to get it on the pad there. Unfortunately, it was soldered on. We just didn't realize because that's a lot of solder. Okay. Well, it's on. Let's see if there's a diode reading now. And I'm getting... Oh well. What? No! How? Oh, I'm not in diode mode. Okay. I thought I pushed it. 4.25! $4.56. Okay. 4.5. It's kind of hard to keep it on there because it's so round. It's definitely on. There we go. 4.5. Not making contact with anything else. Alright, we got a good connection now. Now I just need to get solder back on the other side. No! Alright, let's get the solder on the other side first. At least we know we got a connection. Okay, that hopefully it should be enough. And this side, just gonna get this back down in there. Okay. Oh no, okay. Well, there's a big solder blob. I should be able to just get it on
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, but it will have a pad for the SD slot. The GND via is higher up, so it won't short, and I move the castellated via for the eMMC/CLK around. And the pads for the SD slot should suck less heat.
I mean, it sounds like you know what you're doing, so I'm not an engineer in that way. I barely am able to do this stuff. But I'll get better. I will get better with time. And it sounds like that's what you're doing too. Okay, now let's make sure. Red probe on ground. 4.2, 4.3, 4.5. Yeah, we're good. And then this. Yeah, that's connected. So this one's definitely connected because I got 4.2 and it's not connected to ground yet. Which we're going to do right now. And I'm going to secure the wire. Alright, that's good. Beautiful. Yeah, we did it. Okay, we can do the SD card setup and test it.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says also the traces from all the castellated vias are connected on the bottom, so even if a castellated via breaks, it should still connect the trace.
I know it's enameled wire.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says don't forget 3v3.
Yeah. That's easy. I'm not too worried about 3v volt, 3V. Not after all this mess. I should have a little wire I can use. That's a little too long. They're too long. I guess I'll just cut this gray one. I like gray. Gray is good. We're already tinned over here. If not a little long, but you know, I'll just give it a little hook. Give it a little hook. The 3.3 looked like it already has solder. I don't know if I put that there or if that was... Did he put 3.3 solder blobs on? No, I did. I must have done that by mistake. Happy accident. No, I need flux. It's not beautiful, but it's on. Alright, whoever was here earlier and said that they needed to know what to do with the software wise. Dang it. You know, I'm just going to desolder it so I can strip the other end. There we go. Also not pretty, but we'll take it. Let's put a little bit of solder on the point. Why does it feel like I'm getting solder off instead of on?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the most important thing is to always install ISFS hacks first. After the eMMC is disconnected, nothing works without ISFS, except diffuse.
Is it on? Is that on well enough? That's a little better. Okay. Let's test. See if the MCs will install.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer
MLC,
says if you created an image from the MLC, you can write that to a 32 gigabytes SD. That would also work.
friends. We've made progress. Let me grab... Oh, I'll just use this Micro Center 64 gig. Let's see what's on there. Let's find out.
YouTube RN says, can you write it to a 64 GB SD?
Yeah, RN, you were the one who said, right? Yeah. I'm gonna put a not conformal coating, whatever it's called, solder mask on all this stuff. Once we confirmed it, we're working. And the 64 gig card did not open, so that's weird. Oh, it didn't go in all the way. Okay, this is the one I was using for Yeah, that's the one I was using for what's the mod?
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no, it needs to be 32 GB if the eMMC was 32 GB if you do the image thing.
If you re-image things. But if you go with a fresh install like I'm doing, you can use a 64 gig card. Only if you're trying to copy over all your current NAND to a new one. I did that in a stream a couple weeks ago if you want to go look. I used a 32 gig card and I imaged my NAND was working though, so okay. Where are we with this? 64 gig card. I need to format. Disk management. Sorry for all the shaking. My standing desk is not great for this setup. Eventually I'll mount the camera to the wall so that it shakes less.
YouTube RN says okay, so you have to do a fresh install if you want to use 64 GB
Correct.
card.
Correct. That is absolutely right. Yeah. So, or anything bigger than that too. But 64 doesn't require ISFX hacks to be installed permanently. So that's why I'm limiting to 64 gigs, because I'm going to uninstall ISFX hacks to sell these on my website or on eBay. Alright. So yeah, this is the red NAND. H drive, H. This has got to be
My
it.
New Year's
Yeah,
resolution
66.
is to
So
stop leaving
let's
things so late.
delete.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says you don't need to format in disk management. Just erase it in minute.
I can just delete the volume here, can I? Oh, erase MLC. Okay. Well. Oh well. I'm already here. I'm already doing it. But yeah, I'll just hit erase MLC. Got you. That'll also tell us if this is working. Okay. Nice click. Let me... I have enough airflow probably over here as it is, but I might as well just toss the fan on there. Alright, so pay attention. If this is you and you're wanting to do the software side, you got to get ISFX hacks installed first. That's the first thing. That's your first line. That's your first order of business is ISFX hacks. So you can go into Minute and launch into Minute. So when I turn this console on, it's going to launch straight into Minute. But I got to put some files on the SD card, don't I? Before we do this. So we attached. I need the setup MLC. Right? So in this folder, I already have this on my desktop actually. There it is. I don't know why this window is not responding. So we got the setup MLC, which you're going to remove after
YouTube
you get
Jan
it working.
Hoffmeyer says yes in the waffle_install folder.
I thought it went in iOS plugins. It goes into iOS plugins. All right. Power. Let's switch capture cards. I should really set up a button for that.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the IPX goes into iOS_plugins.
The IPX goes in the iOS plugins. Wait, I need a waffle. What? This says waffle set. The guide says waffle setup MLC IPX goes in the Wii U iOS plugins. Okay, yeah, that's what you're saying. Where's the waffle install folder? I've never made a waffle
YouTube Jan
install
Hofmeyer
folder.
says exactly.
I've never made a folder called waffle install. Just minute for the INI and the iOS plugins. Okay, I think we're saying the same thing, so it doesn't matter. All right, I need the front panel connector and the drive.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the waffle_install goes to the root of the SD.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, and you did the waffle install on the past.
I have a feeling it's all going to work, so I'm just going to kind of prep for... No, I had that on right. It just wasn't sliding. Oh, is there no bridges? Wait, no. Maybe I was doing it wrong. I was doing it wrong. There we go. So you gotta slide those on. So am I missing something here? I thought we just need waffle install. Wow, my C drive. When did that happen? ISFX hacks, we're done that. Oh, we do need a waffle install folder. Oh, we need the titles. That's what you're talking about. For the OTP. Okay, I'm dumb. I totally forgot that step.
YouTube RN says,
Yeah.
what do you have to do software-wise
Yeah.
before you install the NandAid?
Okay, yeah.
I've been reluctant to cut the trace and solder it in thus far.
Okay, you
Do you
have to
lose
do
access?
ISFX hacks first. So did you get ISFX hacks installed? Okay, no, this is actually on my
YouTube Jan
desktop.
Hofmeyer says the waffle_install folder contains all the MLC titles that the setup will install.
Yeah, I forgot about this step. You're right. So I can delete this ML. Well, I already have it downloaded. No, it's got to be with the OTP, right? So I got to do it with the correct OTP. I don't know how I deleted the wrong one, but so let's go grab. I got to put them on here anyway, so just take it off the SD card. Okay, I remember. All right.
YouTube Jan Hofmeyer says you
OTP.
can use the old one.
I can use the old OTP? I thought the OTP was matched to the console. It's not? So then you run this MLC restore with the OTP file in there. I think this is the only part that's missing instructions.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the OTP is only for the common key, which is common for all consoles.
Oh, really? Okay. So you can use any OTP. Okay, so download all the MLC system titles for your region. This can be conveniently done with MLC Restorer. Copy OTP bin from the SD folder to MLC Restorer so you can get the key there. That's what we're doing. So you run this program, and then we're going to say USA, so it's 2, and then it's going to download. So I could have just used the MLC folder I already have. Like I can just keep this downloaded and reuse it each time. Okay, well we'll let it download so you can see the process. So you install Minute, ISFS hacks. Need to get some of this flux off my hands. Once IFSX hacks is installed,
YouTube
back up the SLC raw.
and make sure the console directly boots into Minute when you turn IT on.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah. So don't cut any traces until you have ISFX hacks installed. Get ISFS hacks installed. Get Minute installed. That's an important step here. Then you back up the OTP and CPROM. Then you back up the SLC raw and the MLC if you want to. If you're not going with a fresh install. If you're going with a fresh install, then it's different.
YouTube RN says okay. I'll be referring back to this video when I get back in the mood to work on it.
You really want to just follow the guides.
It's in pieces on my bench. Ha ha ha.
You really want to follow the guides on GBA 10. So do you have those? You should bookmark these if you don't. Let me go to YouTube. Did this actually start? Did my stream actually? It still says this stupid error. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Let's just turn off the Rumble stream, because I don't think Rumble works. You're on YouTube, right? I gotta go to YouTube chat. So you need this thread, and that'll give you this thread too.
The Sunny Machine says https://gba temp.net/threads/how-to-upgrading-rebuilding-we-u-internal-memory.
That one will give you everything you need.
6363009/.
Let's see how this is going. Okay, so I can just save the MLC download for fresh.
YouTube RN says perfect. Thanks.
Follow that guide very carefully. Read it over and over and over and over and over and over. Very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. But you have to back up the SLC raw. And if you're not going with... if you're not going to fix your broken NAND, you're going to start fresh with 64 gigs, you don't need to back up the MLC. Just the SLC. The MLC will take a long time. So, you know. Okay. Strike him off. I'm just waiting for this to download. Although I already have it. I could just grab it. We're almost done. It does take a little while though. So these are the files that are going to program the new SD card basically. Maybe I should put up this put this other front end on, because it is not doing. This connector is not very healthy. This poor connector. Just get this one installed once on this console, and it should be good forever. Never come out again. This poor ribbon cable, oh my god. Yeah, I can't be unplugging and plugging this ribbon cable in very much anymore. It is not going to hold up to too many more plug in, unplug and plug in situations. The pins are already kind of coming away from the connector. Now I could strip it back a little bit, but I don't know if it'll be long enough. It'd be better for me to get it in this console and just be done with it. Alright, we just gotta wait for them to download. It's too bad I already started this. I could stop it and then just grab the MLC. Because I have it here. It's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We're over halfway done. Let's stop it. And I'll just restore this. There's all 52 titles. So you take these 252 folders once they're downloaded.
Why didn't the number 4 get into the nightclub? Because he is too square.
On your SD card, you make a waffle _ install folder, which I somehow blanked on. And you copy all 52 folders onto the SD card. Once that's done, you just have to put the setup file and the unlimit file if you're going to use more than 64 gigs. We're not, so I'm not going to use it because I'm going to get rid of ISFX hacks. We're gonna uninstall Minute basically. I need to leave Minute on until we confirm that game updates work. Is that right, Jan? Or can I take it off and then just soft mod it? I don't think it needs Minute, right? Afterwards, we don't need Minute on there to fix the folder permissions. Wonder what the easiest game to install to check for if the update folder is working properly. Either way, I'm not gonna install the the soft mod.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says the thing is game updates might work with ISFS hacks installed, but will stop working after you remove it.
Oh, I got you. So I got to remove ISFX hacks first. Okay. So that's okay. So remove ISFX hacks. Then why shouldn't I just leave Minute installed for when I sell the console? Wouldn't it be better to just leave Minute installed and then make it so I don't need to boot with the SD card at all? Because then people can use Minute for backups and stuff. Or is that just like a bad idea because people are too dumb and they might brick their console with Minute? Am I too trusting? Okay, so those files are on. Now we can eject the card. Now we can go to the
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer
the
says
console
because
side.
it would confuse people.
It would confuse people. Why? Because they'd see the text coming up when they get the console from me. They'd be like, "Why is there all this weird text?" I mean, it's a hacked console. Shouldn't they expect it to act a little differently? It's gonna auto boot. They're barely gonna even notice the information about how to get in to cancel the auto boot. I guess I could leave it on and then ask the buyer if they want Minute or not, if they're comfortable with it. And if they're not, then I could remove it for them.
YouTube
Right.
Jan Hoffmeyer says also if they insert an SD, it will just go to the Minute menu.
No, I'll make an. Well, yeah, if it doesn't have the auto boot, the INI, but I can tell the customer that. Right, I can inform them when they're buying it that it's like that. I don't know what's better. But I'll just tell them, just use the SD card I gave you. It should last. Okay, let's turn it on. Alright, let's go to the big... Let's go here and do this. Okay, so we're gonna go in this menu. Power to move, eject to go in. So we're gonna go down, power button to back up and restore. And we're going to hit erase MLC. This will format the card for the Wii, basically. I can turn off, we're not soldering anymore. Turn off the fan. Okay, power button. Then we're going to go down to delete SCFM. Now we're going to say eject. Then we're going to go to return to main menu. I just feel like leaving Minute on is just such
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says unbelievable that NandAid install works.
because of the wire? We're not there yet, okay? Okay, then we're gonna go down to patch SD and boot iOS SLC. We're gonna run this, and then if that works, this light will start blinking. There it goes. Now it's programming. So now it's programming. Thanks for the follow. I don't know if my alerts are working. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear anything? My audio's screwed up, I think. Yeah. Playback. Default device. Yeah. Tools. Tools. Refresh audio monitoring. Sorry, there was no alert sound. Okay, so we just wait for this blue light to stop blinking, and then the SD card will be programmed. Now, this is not the final SD card for this build, because it's not a... You want to make sure you get, like, the max extended life cards, or whatever. What are they called? I forget the name of everything, dude. Amazon. Orders. Max endurance. Get a max endurance SanDisk card. That is the trick. I will show you. Get one of the get one of these for your NAND if you're going with a 64 gig card. This one will last longer at least. So but basically, at this point, all we gotta do is wait for this blue light to stop blinking, which means I'm gonna use the bathroom, because there's a good chance to do that. Unbelievable. This NandAid install works. True. Alright, well. People use an SD card with wires.
Jan Hoffmeyer says the max endurance should outlast the SLC if the numbers SanDisk gives are true.
That's awesome. Oh, also, going network. This is a different story, but yeah, I'm shocked that this works too. So once this is done, this light will go solid. Once this is solid, it's done installing those titles. It doesn't take as long to install as you'd think, but it does have to install them. And if everything works right, we just have to remove the setup file from the SD card, and then it'll boot. Now, since this is not the actual SD card I'm going to use...
Jan Hoffmeyer says this install takes a little long.
It's not that bad, considering. Like, I thought it was going to be much worse than this. Like, it takes 5 to 10 minutes or something, right? Like, it's not awful. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. For installing to an SD card that's on a weird broken mod board. Mine's broken. Just this one. Not in general. No offense to Violator. He did a good job. His boards are fine. I'm the one who's broken. The one who's broken is me. So yeah, I got this gamepad off of eBay, and they said it was broken.
YouTube RN says, what's the best guide on reassembly and where all the screws go?
Oh, dude, here's the best guide. My streams where I put it back together. I don't know, dude. That's a tough one. Get one of these mats. Get one of these little mats. that have like a magnet mat. They're cheap. And then label where you took all the screws out, right? Because this is one console, this is another. It's not too bad, but you do want to label and try to memorize where some of the screws do go. So like the labels for this row are on this row because they're the same. It's the same set of screws.
YouTube RN says I already have screws everywhere rolling on the floor laughing.
Okay, I'll help you out then, buddy. You can come back to this stream and watch this section. Okay? Let me zoom way in here. See, it's already done. Well, you can't see it. It's already done. Well, let me give you a quick overview of the screws. Okay? Pay attention. There will be a test, and it will be when you put the screws in. The very bottom of the console, where you first start taking the screws out, you've got the two tri-wing. The two tri-wing go in the front. Then you've got 3 on the bottom side, and then you've got 1 long tri-wing on the top right up here. So I gotta actually zoom out a little bit. So when you take this apart, the bottom of the console will go this way. Well, actually, no, it is this way. It is this way. You've got 3 here. Those are all Phillips. And you've got a long one here. And you've got 2 in the front. This long one is the most important thing that you don't want to screw up. The long one goes by the Wii U and the sticker here. Then you turn it to the side like this. And you're going to have, when it's on its side like this, you're going to have 2 screws. The gold one goes on the left. And then the silver one goes on the right. Then you pop off the side piece. You know, you slide the thing off, and then you can get to these 3 screws. Those are all the same, no big deal. The 2 little flathead black screws are what hold the front panel connector on. So the flat ones are for this, and then the tiny little black ones. These little tiny little black ones, they hold the CD tray to these, and these are all labeled. They say FL, RL, FR, BL, BR. So front, back, front, left, front, right. Put those where they're supposed to go. All the silver screws go.
I had a rough day, and then somebody went and ripped the front and back pages from my dictionary. It just goes from bad to worse.
Silver screws go wherever there's an arrow. 2 of the arrows are on. 2 arrows each are marked on these legs, and the rest of them are marked. If there's an X, don't put it there. Put it into this instead. Where you put this on and then put it into the arrow. So if there's an arrow, you'll see these little arrows. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but like that, like right there. There's a tiny little arrow. And it's not in focus. You gotta look for these little arrows like this. That's where a screw goes. A silver screw. Silver screw, arrow. Black, if there's black plastic, like in here, use the long black screws. And the long black screws hold black plastic in. That's all you gotta know. Just do that. Put this CD drive on last. Okay? Put all the screws in for everything else. Then put the CD drive in. Then put the front panel connector in. That's the order. It's not too bad. All right, let's test this. So once the light starts
YouTube
blinking,
Jan Hoffmeyer says maybe I am just used to installs with SCFM disabled. SCFM just makes writing to MLC so much slower.
Oh, really?
And nothing beats SATA anyway.
Well, that's
YouTube
true.
RN says okay, thank you.
Okay, so then we put the SD card in. You're back in your computer. You go into the iOS plugins, and we delete the setup folder, the file, because we don't need the setup anymore. The setup is to install the MLC titles, and technically we can also I don't know that this is going to be the SD card I use on this. Probably not. I'll probably buy like a pack of 32 gig micro SD cards to put in future reuse and stuff, because this is my card. It's old. I'd rather hang on to it, so I'll buy some new cards for the front before I sell this. But you could delete the waffle install folder too. And if you want to auto boot from Minute, this is where you make a Minute INI folder as well. So let's get rid of this, and then let's go back to the ISFS hacks. So we want, that's not it. We want to put this in a Minute folder with a file called Minute INI. So we're going to make a new folder. No. Minute. And then we're going to make a new document. I'm going to call this minute.ini. We're going to open that. And then we're going to put that in there. Save. It should have the proper information. Easy. Now, eject. Trying to be careful with these SD card slots. Okay, now if everything went correctly, when we power this on, you know, this screen does have some like weird ribboning at the top. I'm just noticing. I wonder if I can fix that. Okay, it's not booting. Did I skip something? Or is this SD card actually bad? I removed it. Oh, I hate that. That always happens. Maybe the SD card is bad, chat. I mean, that would explain why NandAid wasn't booting. Is it me or what happened? It shouldn't take this long. It should just go right in.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says no try without the auto boot.
Okay. Well, auto boot should run the exact same thing. It should just patch SD and boot iOS, right? Alright. Oh, no. I need to put it on 3. It was trying to boot SLC. I need to put it on 3, not 1. Because I haven't done the install
YouTube
yet.
Jan Hoffmeyer says you configured the auto boot to load plugins from SLC, but you don't have the plugins on the SLC yet.
Thank you. Good point. I just need to change it to 3. Which I just did. Good point. So it probably did work. Okay, I gotta put this.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says yes, 3.
Yeah, 3 will work. I just didn't realize my mistake because I forgot. I usually do the minute INI after we've actually installed. We've patched the SLC. Yes! It's booting. There is some kind of weird banding on here. On the gamepad. I might need to get a new screen for this. I wonder if I could fix that. I wonder, can you see that on camera? There's like these weird bands. There we go. I wonder if that's a backlight issue or what that is. Or just like a weak connection. We may have to take this apart on another stream. Let's just see how far we can get into the setup. Because I'm going to redo a new SD card anyway. I just realized that this has weird banding. Sound's working though. Oh, you know what? When I turn it all the way down, it doesn't go all the way down. Oh, it just got stuck. Okay. I'll do this off screen. Okay. Jen, my dodgy install of the NAND. I mean, it's not as dodgy as like just soldering an SD card straight to the board, right? We just had to do one wire. It's not that bad. And somehow it was bridged to ground, and so that was just the cascade of failures. Yeah, I'll just let the customer know that it's gonna have this, and then it needs the minute folder to boot, or they need to just push the eject button to get in. Okay, and then if they don't want it like that, if they want it as stock as possible, I'll remove it. Say no.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, yeah, who would solder a SD straight to the board? Ha ha ha.
I mean, it's a suggested method on the guide or on the forum, so you know, people are gonna do it. But yeah, who would do that? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna run one wire because I burn a via. Choose a lookalike. We just need to get through this. Q. Your name is Q. Register. 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 It's pretty hot. This thing's blowing pretty hot air. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't remember the other ones blowing such hot air. Maybe the thermal pad's real good on this. Either that or it's running hotter than it normally would. Later. Let's just make sure discs work too. Not now. Okay. Let's put a disc in.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says, I did that on the original console that had THEMMC replaced.
Oh. Okay. Everyone's favorite. I will be putting this back together on a stream RN, so if you come back when I'm doing that, I'll be very careful and I'll show you step by step where each screw goes again. Okay, let's see if a game works. I guess I should uninstall ISFX hacks to see if the folder is an issue. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave it on. I think we're just gonna forget all about that. I'm just gonna do this again with the new SD card. Okay, Nintendo Land's loading.
YouTube RN says sounds good.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss, dude. I mean, or follow me on Twitch. Twitch is actually a little better for latency and stuff. Maybe even Kick. Kick might even be better for latency than YouTube. I have it on ultra low latency too, and it is still not great. I mean, you guys might want to hit the live button on the bottom, because sometimes it just kind of lags behind, or reload the stream on YouTube. Okay, let's just start the software. I'm gonna leave Minute on, and I'm gonna try and educate my buyers. I'll put a bunch of information on my website about it. Games work. This Wii U is back to life. One more successfully saved functioning Wii U. You know what? That banding isn't really here anymore.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says now go to settings and show the 64
Yeah,
GB.
That's a good plan. Well, the speaker's a little distorted. I'm gonna have to put the conformal coating on tomorrow, and we'll try to wrap this back up. And I'll do the if I don't have the SD card yet, I can't really do that. I guess I shouldn't have deleted that folder off the SD card, because I can just put it back on. It's no big deal. Settings. That banding is gone now. Was that just on the setup screen? That was just up on the setup screen. So this screen's fine. It's a little dirty. They said this bezel was broken on the listing on eBay. It's like somebody thought this front bezel was like broken or something, but it's not. It's perfectly fine. Data management. There it is.
My boss told me that he was going to fire the person with the worst posture. I have a hunch it might be me.
There it is. 54 gigabytes. I love that you guys came up with all this stuff to fix these. I'm absolutely thrilled that we can fix these consoles. Thank you for all the work you guys have put in to make these kind of fixes possible. It's incredible. Seriously. 64 gigs. It's crazy that 64 gigs just works right out of the box. I guess Nintendo was planning on doing a 64 gig variant and just
YouTube RN says luckily they didn't sell that many.
Luckily they didn't sell that many. I was that lucky. We got these working. That's all I care about. 54 gigs, guys. That's the free space. 64 gig card works. Discs work. Eject. Where's my eject button? The disc drive's been in great shape. This console, $25, and it works now. I mean, I did almost as much as the SD card to fix it. Okay, I thought this SD card was busted, and it wasn't the memory on the other console, but it's definitely not that. We're good. Everything's good. I can't do anything else with this until the new SD card comes. Hopefully it comes early enough tomorrow. If it comes early enough tomorrow, we'll be able to work on this. So tomorrow's plan is to install an HDMI mod and do a case swap on the original Wii. So I have a Nintendo Wii that needs a case swap. It's interesting that the music continues to play while the console reboots, which we wouldn't know about without Minute. But it somehow continues to play the music when the console's rebooting. That's clever programming. There we go. All ready to go. Turn the console off. Beautiful. We've rescued another Wii U. Let's rescue all the Wii U's. I'm going to keep buying broken ones, and I'm going to keep fixing them, and I'm going to keep selling them. That's the plan. So I bought a new case for this. Should I even bother? I bought a new shell off AliExpress.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says I guess the Cafe OS on the PPC side might still be running during the iOS U reload, but not sure.
Oh, really? It's interesting. But yeah, so we have a new shell. I think I'm going to save it for when I get something in way worse condition than this. Because I bought it because they said it was broken, but it's not even close to broken. I'll save it for when I find one that's... Because these are the most expensive part. This damn thing is so expensive. This was like $30-something. That was $25. People are out of their minds with how much they want to charge for one of these. Even a broken one. Even the broken ones. But I guess I got really lucky. They assumed this one was broken when it wasn't. It's dirty, but I can clean it. No problem. Alright. We've successfully rescued another Wii U. Even though there was a bit of a catastrophe with the NandAid install. I gotta go have dinner, guys. I appreciate your help, Jan, again. I'll message her probably tomorrow, and I'll get the memory started sent over. I'll just move money in my PayPal account. It'll be fine. Okay, that's the stream. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Also, join my Discord, RN. I can always help you if you want somebody to talk to. If you're looking for help in the moment, I'm pretty available.
YouTube RN says if it works. But man. The next person to see that install, ha ha ha.
No, I'm gonna put a bunch of conformal coding on it. They'll never notice. I'm gonna hide it. I'm gonna cover it, make it look real nice. I mean, it's just one wire, right? What's one wire? It's fine. It doesn't look that bad, right? Come on, let's cut me some slack here. Be very careful, by the way, taking this in and out. I'll show you. It's not meant to come in and out a lot. This blue plastic will break off.
YouTube Jan Hoffmeyer says my original OIU has 3 ripped traces.
Oh, yeah. This is what happens when you get in trouble. Plugging and unplugging it over and over and over again. The connector just does not like to be plugged and unplugged over and over and over and over and over and over again. Is that you in my Discord? Elementix? Is that you? RN? I'll give you access to the full Discord if you can confirm that that's you. But yeah. Be very careful with this. I'm actually
YouTube RN says yup.
Okay. I got you. Rolls. So you should be able to see the whole Discord now. Just DM me. You know, or say something in my chat. Because I have all the notifications on for it. You guys aren't going to get notifications unless I do an ad to everyone. But if people are talking, there shouldn't be any notifications on for any of that. So if you if you just say something, I have them turned on so I can see when people are talking in my Discord. But yeah, be very careful with this connector. It is actually very fragile. Does not like to come in and out a lot. Those pins are in danger. So I'm gonna put this one in this console though, because we need a healthy connector for the other console we're working on that needs a RAM replacement. Maybe. Seems like it needs a RAM replacement. I will do those tests, Jan. I just haven't gotten around to it. The new cat. And I didn't get a lot of sleep. Yesterday I was exhausted. I was falling asleep at 6 o'clock at night. So this one can't come in and out very much anymore. And I have to unplug and plug the front connector from the other console to test it for soldering and stuff. Hi. Okay, my cat is hungry too, so I gotta go.
YouTube RN says gotta go. Thanks again for all the help.
Yeah, for sure, dude. No problem. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow with the Wii U HDMI install. That's something I've never done, so that's going to be interesting. Alright, see you guys. I got a jet too, unfortunately. It's always how I never have time in the end my stream properly. But see you guys tomorrow.